Hey guys, welcome back. Hope everyone can hear me. I got a 5x5 in here. Welcome to another Sunday chat. See who we are. Hey, Papa's Farm, I saw you in here. Charmaine, Miss Sharon, coffee first. I appreciate you guys being in here. Again, and let me always say, I never say it until if you have a direct question or something, put it in caps. It helps me filtering through these things. I'd really appreciate it. Good to see everybody. I appreciate y'all being here. So a couple. Let's just talk about kind of what we've been doing. Like today, last couple days, we've been working in the garden and even doing different plants like pollinator, different things for our bees. And speaking of our bees, we did maybe 2 days ago. Huckleberry's in there. He'll tell you. We took the little carrion thing that they came in, which was this. They were all in there. He had to go and take that out. You have to let them get settled for several days. Hey, prepping artist and Michael G, how are y'all? So we went out, and that's like your first hive check you do. And so they did that, and they had already started building. See this little, I don't know if y'all can see that. They started building a little honeycomb inside this as well. But this came out, and you just take that out, take the bottom frame, how I said when we first did it together. And they're doing great. We saw the queen, everybody, they're doing what they're supposed to. They're establishing, they're doing great. And they're coming in and out. We see them all the time. They're very gentle. I mean, just they want, they don't get, aggressive, or they were crawling on Huckleberry's hands, just his bare hands and stuff like that. They're just, they're just very laid back. So I'm very grateful. So that's still going well. And so we're learning as we go. But I'm surprised, not surprised, but it just was like, oh, this went so smooth when he did that first hive check, and he had to get this box out, because you need to leave that a couple days in the very bottom and then get it out. So like that, they started building the honeycomb, but they've been doing it on the screens and stuff he has in there as well. And it went so smooth, and they look great. I mean, they look healthy. Everything looks good. So that's in there. Hey, Dusty Country Road, Dove J, I see you guys. I appreciate you being in here. So we had that. I also want to touch base on any of you or your family or friends or anything who is been in the path of these storms and tornadoes. I am praying for all of y'all, or anyone that's in the path of that. I've been seeing more and more, of that, but some of it's, different things are really bad that's been going on. So, and it's, we have those certain seasons as well normally, but hey, Sandy. So I do want to I know there's a couple people that got with me, told me they were in some of those areas and had some damage, or they have family in those areas. So I'm just letting y'all know. I am praying and thinking of you. Hey, Kevin. You made just, oh yeah, Sunday. I know, it's my layback. I don't ever have plans for Sunday. I just kind of go with it. Hey, Loretta, good to see you. So there was those things going on. I'll make sure I just wrote down a couple little notes. I didn't have anything major to talk about. Oh, we know about all the accidents that happen, trains and spills and fires and on and on. But I did see that they were showing pictures and videos, just hundreds and hundreds of dead fish that were, in that area with Minnesota, everything that happened. So again, this continues. It's the water, it's the ground, it's the soil, it's the wildlife, it's the air quality. And sadly, even when these things started happening, like we think they've been going on, but we think, that really big one that came with Ohio, it was just like, sadly, that I didn't think, and most of us, where these are going to continue happening in different, whether it's the fires or the trains or explosions or whatever they do. We were going to see more and more of that, and we are, sadly. Make sure, yes, please, Miss Sharon, tell them all caps. I'll miss it. It's hard to keep up with it. More storms coming. Oh yeah, see, I keep seeing that. Y'all be careful out there. I saw a lot of people's stuff had gotten destroyed, and that is a hard blow. Like even when you live like that, or you have hurricanes, or people who have in like prone to areas for like fires and stuff like that. And then you lose like so much that you've worked so hard or building towards and everything. That's just terrible. I am praying for you guys. So there's that. I did see I came across this article. I can't even say it on here where it is. I should have sent a link or something, but they AI, that's great. Look how they fluff all those things, right? And we talk about how this is always for your benefit. This is for the greater good and so on. And there's an article they were talking about the AI could potentially could replace about 300 million mostly white collar jobs worldwide, which we knew those things were going to come, and it's going to continue to come. And speaking on stuff of AI, there's this new thing that they're pushing to grant, whole woke stuff, to grant like a humanism type identity to AI. I mean, like all stuff like that. I just can't believe that's really part of the world we live in. I still cannot believe that is so. Hey, she's a wildflower. Yes, praying for all of those in the path of these storms continually. I'm praying for you guys. Oh, really? See, I haven't been on. We've been in the yard. I haven't been on, but it doesn't surprise, these things like, oh, it doesn't surprise me. But then it's just like, that is so awful. Like, just stop already. I mean, the evilness that this continues, is ridiculous. Hey, Stephen W., how are you? I appreciate you being here. And if I missed you, so sorry. Hey, Hillbilly Homesteader, how are you? So that I will say on next Sunday, which is it the 9th? Easter. There will not be a live, obviously, it's Easter. There won't be a live next Sunday for that. But this Tuesday, is it Tuesday? Terrible. Let me look at my calendar just to make sure, but I'll have an announcement up there. Yeah, Tuesday, I will be over on Pop B's channel with the live panels that we've been doing. I think we're on part 3 now of this series that he's put together. I think it's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that is Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, the 4th. I want to let you guys, but I'll announce that usually that morning on my community tab. I know how YouTube is. People are not getting, don't get notifications, or they don't show things. Even if you sadly, you have to go often. Even myself, I have to go and physically click on a creator's channel and go search the tabs myself, because they're just burying everyone, I think, at this point. Anyone that's against the grain, we'll say. Hey, Willow, how are you? Hey, Colleen, Laura. I see you guys. Dumpsy Daisy, how are you? I'll make sure I don't miss anybody. Chicken in the oven? Okay, I can come over. Then I don't have to cook, Colleen. I can come eat with you. Okay. So anyways, what does anybody have? I know this time of year, there's people talking about the storms and different things. I guess everybody's kind of doing what they can, the gardening stuff. That's, where we are with everything as well. And as soon as I get done here, and I don't know how long I'll stay on today because we're super busy. And just like yesterday, we were out past dark working on things that we needed to get done. Sometimes it seems like that this time of year. There's never enough hours in the day. So when I get down here, I have some seeds I was soaking overnight that were from Jan Dorn, Buckeye Seed Garden. And I have to get those. In because I soaked them. Hey, Southern Mimi, how are you? Hey, Independent Mini United, I see you. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just, running circles. But I like this time of year. I like this. I want to be outside. I want to be doing the things. That's how my works. Okay, Southern Mimi. You take care. I appreciate you coming. Oh, and yes, thank you, Michelle. I was going to remind with Buckeye Seeds. This is Jan Dorn. I've carried her and for a long time. I'm not affiliated with her. I absolutely love her. in case you didn't hear me before, she's kind of pulled away from the whole Etsy and started her own website. Please, and I've changed that. It's always underneath my videos in my description. Please use her website. I, love her products. Everything. I put my name on and stand behind it as well. And we use her seeds, and they've always done fantastic. Oh yeah, certain seeds. That's great. Yeah, there's something about when you're like, okay, I got the seeds in, or you're starting to see, or maybe you buy the little, starter plants or anything. You're like, okay, I got them in the ground. I mean, my husband and I were just talking about that. It's like, oh gosh, I'm glad that it's just that sense of accomplishment. Like, okay, we're doing the things, and it's this different security and comfort. Or at least it is for me. That's how I feel. I love that. Let's see. Hey, Thistle Moon Farm. Planted a bunch of plants today. Unfortunately, we didn't get to start seeds this year because of the storm. I know. I'm hearing that a lot. And then like certain areas different. It's in one area it's that, and then here I didn't. We started them the normal time we did, and then we had freezes like way past when we usually do, and I lost some of my things I planted, and that does happen. Yes, yes. I love her. I love that thing. I can just sit there. I wish if she was, comes in. She's so busy. My husband and I just sit there. I'm like, oh my gosh, look at these. Look at these seeds. Which behind me here, I didn't put it up. This little tower thing. So things you organize, like men put in there to organize like nuts and bolts and whatever. I organize my seeds in that, and it works great. Super easy for me to just pull them out and get to them. And but I go through her website, and it's just the stuff and things I'm like, I've never heard of this. I've never seen this. Oh, this is so neat. You'll get in there and you'll fill up your cart. I mean, it's just great. It's a really good site. She has everything, it seems like. Okay, yeah. Yeah, send me those. That's great. It's odd because, you think, oh, they're insects, they're bees, but you get really attached. You get attached to them. And then you'll see like some dead ones. Something happens. You learn as you go, or someone got smashed somehow when you were, taking the lid off, you're doing something or moving something, and it happens. And you're like, oh my gosh, my poor bees. But they're super. I just love them. I hear people talking about Royal King. I don't have a Royal King right near me, but I hear a lot of people find good things there. Hey, Gmail Nana, how are you? Good to see you. Beaver Rings, let's go ahead and give them a shout out. We try to every live, right? Yeah, Coffee First. Tell them, hit that like. It helps me. Because YouTube games. Oh, any kind of storage. I just have them labeled. I just handwrite, like label and tape it on there. I mean, like super simple, whatever it is. And I just label them. It's super easy for me to, whatever works for you and different things. Yeah. Oh yeah. This was, and I'm going to tell on him. He was stressing. I told y'all before, I was surprised he wasn't out there with an umbrella. Him staying in the rain with it over his bees, his hive. We were getting a little antsy because we were like, oh, you got this kind of time frame that you want to get this box out, the one I showed you. But there's certain weather you're like, it's just, you can't do that. It's going to cause a problem with them. It's going to be, and it was either the rain or the severe wind, or they're going to be really agitated with you. So we were just, we were waiting. We're just like, oh my gosh, we missed this window. Oh, what are we going to do? It keeps going. And that's probably why. But I mean, I was surprised. That's just such a cute little honeycomb thing they started. I don't even know how well y'all can see it on there. But they had started that, in there. But that was really neat to see as well. Hey, Tiger, did I miss you? I'm sorry if I miss you. Uh-oh. We all have that walk of shame. I still do it sometimes. Live chat. Live chat, thumbs up, and all that. But yeah. So anyone else in it? So okay, Papa's Farm, you're starting bees. It's your first time doing bees, correct? Anyone else in here have done bees or starting or planning on starting bees? Um, I was really surprised how smooth it went, but it was just easy going. It was just the way they acted. And different, kind of types, breeds of those react differently. But we got the calmer nature ones, which was a must. Okay, so this is your first time doing bees. Sure, we'll have hiccups. I don't know. I don't know how long it'll take. I was surprised how much work they had already done. Like even and Huckleberry may put it down there. There was little pockets, like he pulled up the frames, and there was the little that where they've already have larva and stuff, different things in there. So the queen's doing her thing, and I mean they're just moving. They're just moving right along. He'll be there's different things. I had a live. I don't know if you saw it, and I talked about it. I had a breakdown. That's what the live was, and it was a Sunday live, and I kind of had a breakdown of what we did. Now everything, and there's probably things that we got that we may, because it's our first time, we may not need later, or you'll find that's how you kind of that happens. You kind of find out like this did or didn't work, or I did and didn't need this, but it was not nearly as expensive as I thought. But Huckleberry in here can probably give you an overall a little bit better than what I can. Yeah, those webinars. Eve. I mean we didn't. I mean we just didn't. And I don't know if you saw that live I did. I'm talking about as well. Simple books, that we got, and one of them was like a beekeeping thing for the dummies books. The yellow whatever, and you learn as you go about it. But I say do it, but that's me. I'm jump on that adventure and do it. Oh, okay. That's good. Yeah, you have that certain time frame you can do it. Like I think we ordered ours. I think we ordered our bees in January. I think it was January, and then we got them in April, because there's a certain time of year that you kind of want to move them or put them in, and it was that springtime. So, oh, okay. We are doing bees. I joined my local bee group. Yes, yes. If especially anything local, because whatever bees they may have that are hardier to your area, or things that work in your area, because everyone's going to be a little different, kind of your zone region where you live, is find your bee people. Find them at farmers market. If you have a local honey person that just does local honey, fantastic place to start. That's where we've used and only gotten our honey from our bee guy for many, many years. And that's where we bought our bees. And most of them will do that. A lot of them, and they'll talk to you and help you with that. And that's where we got our stuff. But that is so many of those people, just a wealth of, information. But if that live I did, I can't remember. It was a Sunday chat, but I had a breakdown. I showed up like different items that we've purchased and used, and books and what we were doing. And, I think kind of I just kind of broke it down a little bit. Yeah, there's a lot of places that will help along with that. And it doesn't have to, I say about everything, it doesn't have to be difficult. Just things don't have to be, oh, this is the top end, this is the flashiest or whatever, because things I look about all this is it's natural. I mean, as far as this occurs in nature. So a lot of it can just, like even gardening stuff or different things. I'm like, don't make it difficult. Don't think it has to be difficult and more fancy. I mean, well, shame on you, hillbilly. But it's in there. I'm just not sure exactly which one. Oh, really? I believe ours is. It may be more than that here. I mean, but that had gone up. That had gone up as well. Like everything else has gone up, you know. And I remember when a lot of things were going on in the world, shortages and different things. They were having problems getting jars, and then the plastic lids, you know, because you put them in glass. We store ours in glass, and he does too. They were having trouble getting certain things. Oh, let me see what you got to say here. Local BBI is bringing out the colony himself and setting it up with us and going to walk us through steps. See, a lot of them will do like a mentoring. They'll do a mentoring for you. So ask around. Ours didn't. I mean, we ordered them from him. He's local. And then we went and picked him up from the farmer's market where we usually go see him and get our honey. Anyways, and we set him up ourselves. It just depends, but find your farmer's market. If they have a local bee person there, I tell people that's where you start. No. Yeah, you can try that. It's a good idea. Yeah, if you can I think he'll tell you, or he'll correct me, I should say. I think he's making our next hive. I think he told me that. And if you can, if you can do that also, you're ahead of it. You can get that done. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, most people, especially people who are passionate and that's what they do, they are usually eager to help and talk about it and seek that out. Oh yeah. I mean, there's so many. I've talked about the benefits before. I mean, of course, there's the medicinal benefits of like all the stuff I've talked about, not just the honey, but on. But I was so excited because, again, I've said this several times. Last year, we did not have hardly any. There was no bumblebees, bees. There was hardly any butterflies, and we were having to self pollinate a lot of our stuff in the garden with little tiny paintbrushes and Q-tips and stuff, and that is hard and ridiculous. And you have these short windows, and our garden just did not do nearly as well. And that was another thing because they're going to help me in a lot of different ways, and that's why I love them so much. And I'm going to love on them. But yeah, they'll help so much with your garden and everything as well. Yeah, I'll throw this up here in case y'all haven't seen that. I believe it's the Beekeeping Made Simple. It's a lady in Hawaii, and we really like her. Huckleberry, he watches her all the time. And that's what I love how, because like I said, I just said a while ago, is that you don't have to make things so difficult. I mean, this is nature. It knows what it's doing and everything. We just have to, and everything doesn't have to be difficult. And, even things as far as, mites or ants or different things you have to worry about. You have to do control. You have to help them and protect them. There's natural ways for all of that type. Because, I don't do chemical. We don't do anything of that sort in the garden, around our home, in our home, nothing. See, I'll just leave this right here. He'll tell it like it is. Miss Sharon? That's all I gotta say. Miss Sharon, come get him. But yeah, some of that is very true. Yesterday at the garden center, I had people asking me what and how to plant. I gave them my best advice. 5-gallon buckets, which is what they asked, and don't try on it until yeah. The 5-gallon buckets. Container gardens, I have a mix of container gardens and stuff in the ground. I just do a mix, and certain ones I feel I have better success for in containers, and then certain ones I'm like, this bombed in a container, but I have great success in the ground. You have to play it out. Now I'm going around and putting cinnamon everywhere because the ants took over stuff last year, and I did everything, and I still had issues, and I'm seeing little bits popping up here and there, and they're getting cinnamon, and they don't like that, and they will move along. Yeah. It just comes like that. It is, because it was, it's beginning. I'm usually nervous, like I'm going to mess something up, I'm gonna hurt the bees, something, I'm gonna do something, and it's gonna cause them a problem. But then, I mean, then we do that with all kinds of things. Even if you've never had, like, chickens or livestock or different, you have those, but then you calm down. I mean, even when we go out there and mess with them, even our kiddos, they're right there. That's lifestyle we raise them in, and life we live. They're just very calm. You don't have to. That's the biggest thing, is staying calm about everything, that mental and everything else. If you're calm, same with people. If you don't get excited, they're not going to get excited. Same with wildlife of any sort. Yeah, there's a lot of that, and there's certain things like that I'm like, are they on both sides of the fence with stuff, because they're way out there, loony like. But then some of the things they do seem more on the prepping side. That's ironic to me, but we see that. But yeah, some of them, and I think, you know, oh yeah, ours is like self-sufficiency. But yeah, if you can make some put some jingle in your pocket with things like that. Go ahead and do it. Just always say is, you know, be wise when you do anything like that. We've talked about that for different things and bartering. Papa Swan, we were talking about that. Is be careful putting a target on yourself. I always do stuff away from my home, so my location. But if you can make money off of it, do it. Oh, really? Like same bees, or just a different colony took over? Like just another swarm came up or something? I don't know enough about how that goes, but if it's sold in stores, it has to be processed to meet the FDA requirements. I'll say that. Just like how they can't sell raw milk and things of that sort, or eggs, everything has to be pasteurized and stuff. Has to be. Yeah. Yeah, anything like that. People have these lawns and they want to spray all the stuff to get rid of weeds, and they kill even the weeds, the dandelions, and they have lawns. They don't have, it's not functional or for them, or things like pollinators, and we wonder what's happened to everything. That's great. Yeah, I'm all about that. Yeah, that's why I'm like similar clients. That's why I'm like any of your local um, things. Try them, talk to them, because everyone's situation, is different. Oh, yeah, no, yeah, mushrooms are different sorts. There's medicinal, and then there's culinary different ones. Be careful. I don't talk. They know. People know. Ask me all the time. It's one of my things I'm cautious with about foraging for those, because I just want everybody to be safe and do hands-on things. But I do talk about them, and we're trying to grow like culinary type, like white button mushrooms and things like that, which I think is great. If you can do it, I think it's great. Um, Nothing. And see, last year our cucumbers and potatoes did not. I was just like, what have I done? What's going on? I think a couple of people said they just could not get potatoes last year. Um, so I guess also depends on where you're at, your soil. Maybe did you put them in the ground or in containers? Um, Things like that may make a difference. Um, and certain things also I've noticed, depending on where you live, and say you're watering with city water, and they do certain chemical dumps or higher amount than normal, you'll get burns on your plants. And I've had that happen before too. If there's like a really bad storm or hurricane, they'll flush the water supplies, and then it burns the plants. Um, hey, Kims, how are you? That's fine if you're late. Don't worry about it. We just kind of go with the flow over here on Sundays. Um, Yeah, like I said, yeah, our potatoes did nothing. Now this year, I showed in one picture, maybe it was short. I just showed video. I just did pictures and kind of put it together, and I labeled them. We're doing the potato tower, where it's like these layers of dirt and these hay, and you go on. And we just did slips, like where the eyes come out, just russet, potatoes, and they're sprouting, coming all through there, and that seems to be working great. Last year, I did them in 5-gallon buckets, and they were coming up really tall, and then they didn't produce anything underneath. And they're funny about things. You can't have it. They don't like compact type soil. It can't be super wet, but it can't completely dry out. Who knew that potatoes would be there? But then this year with that one, it's working great. And I've grown. Sometimes, I mean, we live somewhere else. It seems like you just throw a potato in the ground, and you don't have to just forget about it, and it does great. It just goes like that. So, like even our sweet potatoes, which they grow different. They don't grow like regular potatoes. I mean, as far as what they like, we did those in the ground from our slips after they started. They had a good root system on them, and they were growing. The green part on top, and they're in the ground and doing great. So we shall see. I think it's hit and miss, because sometimes all my herbs, I'm pretty much sure all my herbs are in containers, even like the smaller kiddie pools or containers. Some of them they'll take over everything and they'll go all over. I just like doing that, or I had issues with ants before with them. Okay, I'm sorry. He's probably I see how far behind I am. Sorry, Miss Sharon. He's probably long gone. Take care. Hey, Constitutional Carpenter, how are you? Good to see you. Yeah, I just pray that people wake up we plant the seeds and we keep moving along. That's what it is. Oh, of course. I mean, there's always runoff and there's stuff in the thing, but as far as what I'm gonna contribute or put down, it's not gonna be anything like that. But there's always a thing. But also, if you live more rural, it's a bit less risky. I'll say that. Yeah, I saw. Yeah, we've been looking into the whole thing. That's what he was talking about. He's talking about I think we were talking. I think we decided we were going to do like the little. I don't know. They're like clear looking tubs, but it was talking about how you have to disinfect those just a certain way, and you can't. That kind of I was thrown off. People or anybody in here is growing mushrooms. Please jump in. They kind of seed them or start them in wet cardboard, which was off to me because cardboard has a lot of chemicals in it. I don't know. That was just we gotta look more into it. I would love to, Sandy. I'm stuck at my desk most of the time, but I'm getting a camera to go outside, which was my goal anyways for this spring, because I need to be outside and I want to bring you guys along. But yes, that is on the list. I promise. And so I can be out there with the bees and foraging again more. Because I used to do, when I went out before and recorded anything away from my desk, I was doing it on my phone, and it became a disaster, and my phone kept crashing. Everything, it was just a mess. So that's how it goes sometimes. Honeybees are a bit different. I don't like wasps or biting flies. Those, they'd find me in a snowstorm, honestly. Hey, Dark Angel. How are you? I'm glad you're here. Oh, yeah. We use dandelion. I mean, every part of that plant. I mean, you can do stuff with all of it. It's great. I agree. You know me. You know my thing. Oh, that's good about that. Yeah. Any networking about things. I mean, that's what our community, your community, your tribe, even, just that community help. Utilize that. Um, yeah, they are. I mean, like even like last year, our beets didn't do much. They didn't get big. They didn't do much. But then this year, they're just taking off already. So I don't know. I don't know the change one year to the next. What it's just that fine line of something. Yeah, I don't know what it is about the potatoes. A lot of people, a lot of different, even creators or different things were saying they're like, I don't know what I just didn't get any potatoes, and we didn't get any potatoes, not a single potato. We didn't get anything for potatoes. Yeah, I would do container gardens. I don't have clay. I don't know how anybody grows anything in just clay. That's not something I'm used to, and it just seems like it would be very hard. Um, let's see. I'm behind. I am sorry. Let's see. I want bees for honey and to pollinate the orchid. Yep. Highly. Oh. Well, I mean, like, what are we talking about? Highly allergic, like you swell up, or we're talking about anaphylactic. There's that thing. As far as honeybees, you know, I mean, I've never had a suit on and been out there. The first hive inspection where we took this box out and completely picked him up and moved it and took the frames out. Huckleberry was suited, but he didn't have gloves or anything on, and they didn't bother him a bit. They didn't even. They were just like they didn't care, and I was up close, taking pictures and looking, and just being right in there, and they didn't bother me or him. I think it just. I guess it depends on what level you're talking about, and are you so allergic? Like, do you have an issue with like having their honey and all that type of stuff, or just from their stings, like the venom from it? Yeah, I usually rotate my spots, or if like sometimes they're in containers and ground, but then the year and we till up different things. And there's rotations you can do, sunflowers and everything you can do to help your soil. But no, none of my stuff was ever in the same spot. I just don't. I just move it. I just flip things around every year. Yeah, that's how last year it was great plants. Great plants, no production of the root, the tubers of anything. I don't know. Yeah, I did kitty. I still have some. I did. I think did we do 2 or 3 last year? Um, but things in that did well, and then it just hit and miss. Yeah, as far as like potato, you don't want they don't like things like compact. Certain soil you can buy is like that. Um, I would really try the tower way. I don't know. I just think that with regular potatoes, not sweet potatoes, I don't know because I haven't done them that way. Is the tower method where you do layers of the dirt and the hay and the dirt, and you just keep doing it, and you just layer them on top of each other. Even the tubers when you put them in there, every layer you put some in, and then you start your layer over. You keep doing that, and they are coming up like crazy. I think I will always do it that way now. Is it? Yeah, a lot of people do great in 5 gallon buckets. They do great. I want to think that my soil it stayed too wet and compact. Make sure you have holes drilled, or look into how you would do that. You got to drill holes in the bottom because they don't like to be soaked. They have to be drained well, but not completely dried out. They're picky. But yes, a lot of people do them like that, and I've done them like that before, and they did fine. Yeah, I don't know. I keep hearing that. Gosh, my plant part's coming up. I hope the tubers come out. Like those are staples. Potatoes and stuff like that are staples. I mean, you can stay alive on whole potatoes. You eat the skin and stuff. I mean, may not be what you want, but you can sustain yourself, and it helps. It's a good filler. Also, you're not gonna be hungry. That's what I think. But I mean, people know me. You've been on here. You know my faith. I'm constantly praying over my garden, I'm praying over these bees. I'm praying over my chickens. All the time, every day. And when I'm out there, I constantly do that. And always learning new things, new tricks, or trying something different. And something may, like I said, something works one year, it doesn't work the next year sometimes. Yeah. That, like, I'm highly allergic to yellow flies, but that's in the bite and fly family. So, like, some people can be allergic to certain type of bees, but they're not going to be allergic to, wasp or certain other type like bumblebees, which those very, very rarely ever get at you, but sometimes it just depends. So I guess that we have to see, is it honeybees and get the most docile, easy coin friendly ones would also be my opinion. And then if you're going to be out there, you're going to have, I would always, if you're allergic, I would always wear a full suit for sure. That would be my go-to. Take those precautions. And if you're like, if you're at that thing, you're anaphylactic, like you have to have an EpiPen if you get bit by or stung by a bee, you need to have that on you and see. Okay. Drive safe, Dove J. Oh yeah. I have those growing bags, the different ones. I have, and different things have done really well. A lot of my herbs do so good. Well, I don't know. I just can grow herbs. They just grow. They grow too much, and some of it I just have to chop because I've dried so much. I've given so much away. We have so much. I'll just throw it to the birds. They do well in that, but I don't have the big growing bags. They're not huge. So I guess please let me know though, if anybody who finds out differently. Oh, I don't know how far about him. Your mushrooms are on. See, yeah, now, Dave. Okay, let me ask you about this, Marvin. The coffee grounds and wood chips. Okay, I've seen those. I've seen that videos, but then people. Okay, I probably haven't had a microwave in 15 years or something. I don't do microwaves or anything like that. But then some people in those videos like, oh, you have to microwave your coffee grounds and get them so hot or something. I don't know, maybe it kills off stuff. Is that so? Or can't you just put them in the oven? Or do you have to do that? Do you have to heat them up to a certain temperature? That's where my thing was. I had that fine line. If I didn't want to be a contamination problem, I'm not putting any. I don't have a microwave. I don't use things like that. I don't want that stuff in my house, but I don't know. But then the whole thing with cardboard, they would soak cardboard in hot water. I just thought, well, that's leaching out, isn't it? I don't know. Oh, so it is that level. Yeah, if it was that level, I'd be very hesitant as well. I understand. But I would, if you want, I would suit up. Yeah, he knows all about it. He has 2 different types of suits, and stuff. Yeah, I know about this, doing that. Ours just, we haven't, but I'm sure our day's coming. Yeah. Oh, okay. So yeah, because chicken poop is a hot manure. You have to let that, like how you do a compost. You cannot take that right and put on. Rabbits is not a hot compost. You can take rabbit pellet. A lot of people will use that just for, even if they're not meat rabbits, they use that for their compost, the fertilizer. And you can take rabbit pellets and put them right directly into the garden. Chicken, you absolutely cannot. And that has to stay out and dry out and everything. It's just too high. I could too. I love potatoes. All ways of potatoes. I love them. And I want them all the time. And that is just a good staple to have. Oh, see, DC. See, I'm behind. Yeah, DC. Tell him, Rabbit. You know what he said. Sorry, this is what happens. I'm behind in the conversation. Yeah, there's always that risk. Bears. I think about that because we have black bears that come up here. They get stuff out of our mulberry tree and they just come around. Um, we have security cameras around different things that will alert us. I think there's always that risk, but you got to do precautionary things. Don't eat raw potatoes. Raw potatoes are very dangerous to eat. Certain nightshades are. I'm just going to say that. Yeah, they don't like cinnamon and the pepper flakes, cayenne pepper. You can put that stuff around. The cinnamon will keep a lot of different things away as well. Even like if you have like neighborhood stray cats, like I would worry about that, and they come and poop in your garden. You can put different things, and that the cinnamon does help. Yeah, yeah. We just put our chicken poop in our compost. We compost for a year, then that goes into the garden, and then we compost for a full year. And when we go through that cycle again, we turn that. Scraps or different things, the chicken poop, the yard debris that's dried and chopped up, it all goes in there. Oh, your strawberries. Mine have flowered. But I haven't gotten anything off of them yet. They're smaller. I missed something. What do I miss, Miss Sharon? What do I miss? What am I sending you? If I missed it, you have to put it back down there. Put it back down there then. Or what you were talking about, not your address. Oh, your fruit trees. I was wondering would fruit trees, if they would do in those big bags. The stability of them, especially areas that are prone to hurricanes and wind stuff. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And see, I don't know. I don't know what the difference is. And, and it's funny about this is, we were talking about that. I'm like, sometimes you baby stuff. I'm like, what's wrong? I did everything. I babied you so much, plant. Why didn't you produce anything? My daughter's like, I don't know. I think I watered it this week. I just put it out there, bring it in if it's cold, and she gets fruit right. I spoiled my plants. They won't do anything. I guess that's what it is. It is weird how some do and some don't. Bear stick. I am terrified to eat pear. A certain way you have to cook it to a certain temperature, to a certain this, and this, or it worries me. Yeah, we have the biggest mulberry tree I've ever seen in my life. It's humongous, and we depend on that's something we depend on every year to harvest, and that's why I was talking about. I believe it was last week. It was starting to get the berries starting to come out, and it had flower, done all that stuff, and they were green, like they were coming. So they had started, and then we had like 3 days of heavy freeze. It was like in the 20s, and everything that was green already on there. Shriveled up. They were burnt, like that freezer burnt look. And I'm hoping that doesn't mess up this year's production of that. Yeah, the stray cats. Yeah, the cinnamon, they won't go near that. Just buy the really cheap cinnamon, like the big containers of cheap cinnamon. You can get it like Walmart or something. You don't have to use anything really good for that. Is the nausea and everything, is it a chronic nausea or is it an acute thing like you're sick or you have something microbial or food stuff, or is this a chronic nausea? You think if it's low key type stuff you think ginger, I'm allergic to ginger, I can't take it. But then or you can think like fresh, peppermint and everything. Or if there's something going on causing it, we got to fix the underlying cause, the root cause of that, not the symptom it's producing. So, and if you want to shoot me an email, you're welcome to do that. Yeah, bee therapy is great. For not large different things. It's for different types of arthritis, different types of chronic inflammation. They do it in those areas. If you find somebody has that, it works fantastic. If you got to go somewhere and have that done properly, so you get in certain areas, they hold them and make them sting you in those areas, and it helps and it works for a long time. When people have it done, it works for a long time. Oh, yes, I will dry. Yeah, I will dry. I will. I dry a whole bunch of herbs. Um, Yeah, anything that if you have a serious if you have serious it could be food or different things. Um, and that's for real, like it's a dangerous allergy. The more every time you get exposed and you have that reaction, it can be worse. Um, but I mean, if you have to have an EpiPen for it, if I was in that, I would pass because you have that flip side of there's risk and side effects of using EpiPens. It can save your life, but it's not without. And the more you have to do that, you have risk factors. And that's usually why people have to be monitored. If they've had to use an EpiPen, their heart has to be monitored afterwards. I mean, you do what's best for you. I would, if you're that level of it, I would be, I'm just saying if it was me, I would probably not if it's that level. But then I hear people who say they're allergic, and um, they wear their certain suits and they're fine. But I mean, if you have that risk factor, like I always have to keep an EpiPen if I'm just outside of my yard or I go somewhere, if just in case that happens. But I mean, even if you could find like your an allergy immune type doctor that did a test and say, is this all bees or is it honeybees or is it just yellow jackets? Yellow jackets are the devil. They're horrible, and I react to them, but not no. I'm like kind of like that with yellow flies, and every time I get bit, it gets worse. Um, so it just acutely comes out regular, and so something may be cycling. If you're like it just comes all of a sudden. It's like every month, every 29, 30ish days, then something may be cycling. So it would be more. It'd be more questions than maybe you want to answer on here. So you're welcome to shoot me an email. How long's it been going on? Is there something that causes it? Is it coming at night? Is it coming only after you eat? Is it coming first thing in the morning? Those type of questions. And again, you can email me and I'll see if I can help you out with that. Nausea is awful. And you're welcome. Yeah, food. There's a lot of different things. Like people are saying in here to you, Stephen. Um, oh, Kansas. I don't know. Anyone in Kansas area? They're having a drought. I mean, that surprised me. I was interested. Everything we went through last summer when it was blistering hot, and the two before, 2 summers. I think the cattle, the crops, some of it is. Some things are natural and some things are not naturally occurring. I was interested to see this growing season, this harvest season of most produce stuff, what was going to come about. And then you have these areas that toxic things have gone on and the soil's not safe and the water's not safe. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Oh yeah. Fresh. Oh, I'm just making sure I don't miss anything. Thank you guys. Y'all been great. As always, y'all are great. And thanks for all the help in the conversation. I appreciate you guys with the bees. And I'll keep you posted as we go. Of course I will. I'll bring things in. I was just able to bring this box in and from that first inspection, which went really, really smoothly. I appreciate all your help. And Stephen, you are welcome. If you want to email me and tell me some of the questions I just asked you and let me know, and I can see if I can help you out with that. Okay. And I would be glad to help you or see if I can point you in the right direction and things you can try and eliminate. And there's a video I can send you that may help also. Oh, yeah, it does. I keep that dry, but also I leave it if I find it in my yard for that. And there's the wide one, and then there's the more narrow one. I've done videos on both of those, what they are, but it works. It helps. Yes, natural remedies. That's how I live, and I firmly believe in that. Yeah, thank you, Dark Angel. Hit the thumbs up for me. It helps me. I'm not good at asking about stuff, but it does. It helps the channel, and gosh knows, y'all have been following me. They stay on me. But I appreciate all of you. Keep doing all the things and stay safe. And I appreciate all of you. Yes, come free too. Oops. Oh, I clicked on the wrong one. Sorry. That wasn't for me. But yes. Yeah, I'll end up doing DC. I'll do B videos. I am kind of stuck. I'm limited on I am getting a camera that I can take outside and stuff. But money went to bees right now. And now I have to, budget things differently. That's how it is. You're so welcome. I appreciate all of you. You're welcome. Yeah, it works. It works great. That and the dandelion sap, they work really well. All right, guys. Y'all have a great day. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time.